welcome in, ATB Show. You can go to atbshow.com. All the links are there. That's where you're going to find most of the 9 million channels. Oh, Scotty's glitching. We okay? Everybody good? Good in the Matrix?
Oh.
I had a little screen flash on Scotty. I'm not sure what's happening. It's the Hendrix. It's acting up. Anyway.
Seems good now.
You can find Rubber Shoes there for the Rubber Shoes Wrap Up and Rant every morning. We're doing Shirt of the Day. We're through that. Hat of the Day. We were going to do a Saturday night special. We were going to have DJ Seven, if you don't know, that's his club name. Yeah, he was gonna start to do like weekend mixes, which I was all about. I'm like, that's cool. Saturday night, Rubber Shoes, live from the home studio in LA, and then we realized there's what is it called? Getting sued because of licensing. Yes. In the effort of not having, our friends at Metallica who ruined Napster for us. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check with your grandparents. It's in an effort of not getting sued. Scotty doesn't even know. He's like, I'm too young, Tim. I'm too young.
I know what Napster is.
Okay,
we all know what Napster is.
Metallica ruined it for everybody.
Like Jesus, I'm not a grandparent.
Metallica ruined it for everybody. That's okay.
I don't understand because I pay for the music. And so it's not like
yeah, but you can't play it for other people.
That's called DJing.
No, but stand by. Rubber Shoes has a license, so when he spins in the Merrimack Valley at locations in the public, people can listen to that music that he has license for. So he has the license to play that in general, right?
Yeah.
It's like
sure
if I'm a restaurant or bar owner, and there's always like I don't know where it stands now because I feel like everything's changed. But if I'm a restaurant or bar owner, I could have gotten back in the day. Check with your grandparents. The Mike Tyson fight on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And people at my venue could watch it because I paid for it. I mean, it wasn't something they celebrated, but.
Yeah, but technically you could have gotten in trouble for doing that. It's technically not allowed.
It's like when they yell at me. Oh, I'm getting camera glitches now. Here we go. Hang on. We're back. Great. We're back. No, we're back. There's so much going on right now. Yeah. Anyway, we didn't get to the point where
we couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's AAA Work Trucks. What I was going to say before Rubber Shoes brings us up to beat with the AAA Work Trucks and all the phenomenal things they do with his Village People pictures all over the truck. He's now doing bike rides.
Yes. Same route every day, though, right, Rubber Shoes?
So can we not...
Until it gets nicer out. I got a couple different routes in my head that I want to try, but it's...
Are you on a road bike or a mountain bike?
Road bike.
Oh, okay. I want to see you get a mountain bike and see you traverse hills and stuff.
Here's what I want. Here's what I want him to switch to.
Okay.
I want him to get inline skates.
Yes.
And the segment can be called Roller Shoes.
Love it.
I have.
Right?
I have.
I sign on to that. I co-sign.
I have hockey rollerblades.
That would be amazing.
They're hockey rollerblades. They're not hot pink with unicorns on them.
Correct.
I give you permission. You're allowed to leave the class. Go get your goddamn hockey rollerblades. So they have blood on them. What makes them hockey rollerblades? They're inline skates. I'll turn the car around. Like, what are we doing? Get up.
Oh, he's going to get him. Let's go.
Yes. I'm calling his bluff. They're going to be My Little Pony.
Lounger.
It's so good. It's so good. My mother is so entranced by the whole new setup at the LA studios. Yeah, it's like Archie Bunker. It you can't.
Looks like you got it from like a yard sale on the side of the road.
There's a story he told us. He did. That is not from. That's not from Jordan's Furniture. I will. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Wait till he comes back with his knockoff skates. Hang on.
Oh my God, I love this.
Hockey rollerblades. I can't wait to see what.
Roller shoes.
Oh my God, they are hockey skates. I'm so good now. Good night, everybody. He's such a dick. Of course they are.
Wrong.
Yes,
you're wrong.
Oh my God. All right. Well, you're off the bike. Get on the inline skates. I want you taking out old people. I need you skating with a stick. I want you in a Charlestown Chiefs jersey, right? Putting on the foil. That'd be great on the Bruce Freeman Trail.
Yes.
Which Scotty and when Corey joins us, I think he's in hair and makeup, or maybe he's not coming. Scotty and Corey don't understand this, but the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail
Yes.
Yes, if you're a Chelmsford masshole, it's like, oh, that's perfect. So now people will be out there looking for you, which is also amazing. Anyway, we're brought to you by our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. Rubber Shoes, go ahead. Oh my God.
Brought to you by AAA Work
Oh my
Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet. AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
He's moving the mic flag for the ad.
Oh, I love it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But he waited. He couldn't talk and spin.
No, he can
Yeah.
anytime.
And I want him out there rollerblading with a stick. It's going to be a whole adventure. But I know he's an avid hockey player. That's why I want him out there. I need this. I need this in my life.
If you see Rubber Shoes in the wild on his hockey rollerblades, I think you should take pictures and send them in, please.
Yeah, I'm so here for it. I absolutely like a Sasquatch. Like, look at these poses of him like skating down Bruce Freeman, taking on small children. So Scotty, as always, when he's coming into the green room, there's like a digital green room that everybody jumps into. Scotty enters with his Kitty Dukakis elixir bottle, which of course is our dear friends at Hendrix, not a sponsor yet, and his cup. Show us the cup because we have to chop the wood that Adam threw on stage. There it is. There she is. Now, what you don't know, Adam, I trust there's a story behind this, just like Scotty's behind his. Is that the gin and tonic? What are we doing? Are we doing straight up gin? I don't know. It's a Wednesday. What are we doing?
Oh, Jesus. No, no, gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic. All right. I love that. I love that. So that cup, along with everything else, because Adam was asking, he's like, you got to, and obviously for people that, love all the other sports we talk about, but maybe don't have the passion for golf that a handful of us do, you can only get Masters stuff at the event.
Okay.
Like you
So
can't
where
get
does
anywhere else. So
how do you get
that
this
cup.
from?
That cup that I will say, and I don't know because he'll tell us the story in a second of who grabbed that for him. One of the most amazing things when you go into the merch shop, you got to bring your Amex Black card because nothing's cheap.
Yeah, of course.
But there's some amazing stuff, obviously. And usually when you go, like I've got a couple of people in my universe that are on like the wait list to go to the Masters. There's a lottery and a raffle, and you got to sign your baby over and all this stuff.
Oh, wow.
The merch shop can be challenging financially. What's amazing, and I saw it this year, and I'm like, how do people not know this by now? They will post, Adam, they'll post the menu. And it's the pimento cheese sandwich and all these other things. And the prices for the food are phenomenally reasonable.
Oh.
So I don't know that cup that you acquired. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Chernick. Did Chernick go to the Masters? Who went?
So what? You know what? Nobody actually went. So you can order
Oh.
food from Augusta. So it's an entire, basically it's like a pack that you get that my buddy Eric gets every year. So I don't know if did you see the picture I sent on Sunday? Did you guys ignore
I
that
saw.
one?
Yeah, I apologize.
Did we ignore it?
You guys. No. You were at a sim. There was a lot going on Sunday. I apologize. You were at a sim. Yeah.
So the sim was actually Eric's garage. He's got an amazing setup at his place, and he has.
Do you have the picture? We can post the picture. Don't forget, we have this extra box since Corey's not here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a picture. Yeah, I can send that.
Throw that in the matrix.
Okay, so continue your story though. So
anyway, what they do is you can order the Masters, basically the Masters box. So they'll send you the pimento cheese, the egg salad for egg salad sandwiches.
It's amazing.
They'll send you the pulled pork. They send you a bunch of cups.
That's
I
amazing.
got like a little flag. You get a little flag stick, like a little thing you can put in the sandwiches. Little toothpicks with a Masters flag on it.
Yeah.
They send cookies this year, chocolate chip cookies, ridiculously good. I'm trying to think of anything. Actually, I'll look at the picture. I'll post in a second. But and the actual potato chips from the Masters. And so you get all this stuff, and Eric, basically you get like napkins to say the Masters 2024, all that
amazing.
stuff. It comes from Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
okay,
You can't get it anywhere else, and so you get it delivered. He did this last year as well, and he set up on one side was basically the table, all the food, and Nate Dodge, who's from Georgia, brought like the specific rolls and the bread that they get from Augusta. So he got all the specific bread to
amazing.
make the sandwiches with, and then they also give you the Master's sandwich wrap, like the foil. That also comes with it. So Eric made the sandwiches the day before and had them all wrapped in the Masters, like you would get when you went to like one of like the stops along the way to get a sandwich while you're out in the course.
I got to be honest, I wouldn't use that. I'd use it as tissue paper for gift giving down the line, right? Like, where did you get this?
That'd be perfect
That's
to wrap.
good, actually. That would be good.
Golf balls and stuff like that. But it's super cool. He's done it the last couple of years, and we had a blast this year. He had the sim because he set it up in his like October, November last year. He got the sim. It's the same type of sim they use, or the same type of device that they use on the range. That's how the trackball.
The TrackMaster. Okay, that's awesome.
Master, yeah. And
That's
so then it
amazing.
ties into software that he has on his laptop or his PC. And like I said, I'll post all that. But it's awesome.
Super cool. Yeah, that's super cool. So go ahead. You got more questions, and I know it doesn't. It's like a foreign language if you're disinterested. So we're never going to make you be like, oh, I get it now. You're probably not going to form that sentence tonight, but keep going.
Yeah. No, I was out at a restaurant for lunch. I think it was I forget what day it was, but it was one of the days. They had them on. It was on every TV, and I was like, I'm just kind of sitting there going, like, I'm watching this guy. I don't know who it was. I don't know any of the golfers. So
yeah,
and he's literally standing there and clearly trying to figure out like what his shot is going to be and what club to use or whatever. But they had the camera on him for like, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes. I'm like, what is interesting about watching this?
Oh my God.
It seems so boring.
No, I get
and I'm
you.
like,
I get you.
literally just watching this dude think. And I'm like, I don't get it. So you're right. You probably will not be able to describe to me and get me to get it. But I was just thinking to myself, like, I know all three of you watch it religiously. I know all three of you love it.
1,000%. Yeah, sure. My mom is spinning in her chair right now listening to this, Adam. She loves you, but yeah, she's on the struggle bus right now with you. Cheryl would put it. Cheryl would watch it. Cheryl would watch the Masters with the TV off. I'm going to go there for her. Yeah. My mother adores watching golf.
Sorry, Cheryl.
Now, here's the thing, because there's a few different people on the show, don't forget. Now, Rubber Shoes will sit and watch. Rubber Shoes enjoyed baseball before they had a pitch clock, right?
Right.
Like, Rubber Shoes adores baseball. It's his top sport. And he also adores golf. Now, golf for me is as passive watching it. I'm probably more actively watching golf than I am watching the Red Sox. Red Sox, Virginia and I, they're on. And they're just sort of on in the background. I'm not watching and like, did he throw a screwball? Like, I'm not that person. And you know me, I've decided now this for all the sports. I definitely don't want to watch the Red Sox on the West Coast. Who does that? Get a therapist. And I almost don't watch them anymore unless they're at Fenway. Like I'm a total homer now, kid, right?
Yeah, guy.
What I can tell you, some of the romance around it though. And this is something I forgot until somebody said something and I didn't notice. And it always annoys me because I'm the guy, and I know we've talked about this before, I'm the guy when the boys were in school and it was the 5th grade the Christmas concert and all the moms have their phones up.
Yeah.
And I turned to Ginny and I'm like, they're never going to watch that later.
No, they're not.
This is just a physical marker that they're pretending to love their kids. You're not watching that later? That's not the Zabruta film. We're never going to find out who killed Kennedy, you know? So one of the cool things, and there's an iconic shot of Phil Knight, Uncle Phil from Nike, watching Jordan years ago, and most recently watching LeBron beat the scoring record. Everyone else in the arena has their phone up, and Phil Knight's just sitting there watching, taking the moment in, which I find, as a sports fan, romantic. There are no phones at Augusta. Okay. And they were talking about this actually on Barstool. If we went in, and we would be perfect for this, because look at us, for God's sakes, like, without our wives, we barely don't get here. And Corey's still missing. He just texted and said, what time? I said, now time. Yeah. He goes, I can log in. I'm like, that'd be a great idea, Barbara. So, yeah, you go to the Masters. Nobody has phones in there. So if we all go to the ladies' room and we come out at different times, Scotty's getting a pimento cheese sandwich. You and I wander off into the woods. Rubber Shoes is watching the Red Sox. You're not going to see them again until you get back to your hotel.
Oh, that's crazy.
So there's something cool about that. Like when you go back and watch that footage, you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Nobody has their camera up phone up, right? Because you can't.
Right.
There's a million reasons. I'm going to let the guys talk, obviously, and I apologize. I'm bulldozing this segment. It is to golf what the Boston Marathon is to marathons and what the Super Bowl is to football. I would argue.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, and this is it. Yeah, this people.
Because I'm not a runner, but I love to watch the marathon. So
guys and girls take Thursday and Friday off the week of Masters.
Oh wow.
Bar none. People will be like, "Oh, I'm taking 2 days off." Oh, honey, do you want me to stay home with you? No. I'll be in the basement nude. Right? Like that's what level this is for people.
Interesting. All right. Yes. Well, I'm not sure I'll get it, but that's okay.
Deep thoughts, Scotty. Deep thoughts. Am I on course, off course?
Oh no, I think you're on course. No pun intended. I think when it comes to the Masters and to try to help Adam as well is like the best way I would describe it. So first of all, there's a couple of things. One, it's the first major of the year, right? So it's the first major tournament, and there's only 4 majors throughout the entire year. So this is the first one. So that's the first major. It's also the sign of the fact that golf season is officially here, right?
Okay,
they have tournaments, before, like they had 3 of the last 5 tournaments were in Texas, though, where it's never cold.
Yeah.
So
you
people
love the Valspar stuff.
Really love the fact that it's hey, it's it's finally going to get warm enough where we could actually play some golf. The course itself
monster,
is so challenging, so beautiful, so just different compared to most courses that you're going to see, but also doesn't really change. Other than 3 years ago, they extended the tee box by 60 yards, and that's all they talked about for the 4 straight days.
So the infamous hole is called Azalea. It's number 13, and they dropped the tee box back so far. I think I caught this, Scotty, and Rubber Shoes. I might be off. I think they said from the tee box, it's 360 to get clearance to the dogleg left to actually see the pin.
Yes.
Wow. I will forever watch them. If somebody said, "Do you want to go play at Augusta?" I'd be like, "I'll watch." I shouldn't look who's here, everybody. Look who's here.
Oh, hey, round of applause.
Yeah. He was in here and he didn't have his phone and he got lost in the ladies' room. So yeah, we were talking about no phones at Augusta, Corey. Welcome in. So there's a go ahead.
Yeah,
Adam, do you watch tennis at all?
If it was on, I might watch it for a few minutes, but no, probably not.
Because I would. So the Masters is like Wimbledon to tennis.
Yes.
It makes sense to me now when you say it's the opening. It's like opening weekend or whatever of the season. So I kind of get that, even though it's not opening weekend, but it's the first major. That makes sense. It's more important.
It's like the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indianapolis 500.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing me though, Rubber Shoes, on the cars going around the circle. That's even worse to me. But oval. Sorry, oval. I guess, right?
Corey, you're so late. I challenged Rubber Shoes to go get his inline skates because I was convinced they were Rainbow Bright, and he's like, "No, they're hockey rollerblades." I'm like, "No, they're." And he brings
Do we
back
still have them,
Reebok,
Rubber Shoes? You got to show
Reebok hockey rollerblades.
They
He's a man's man. You can't deny it. Look at him. Yeah,
there they are.
those aren't inline skates. Those are hockey rollerblades. I will give it to him. He's such a dick. Honest to God. Anyway,
how do you stop on those things though?
What's that?
How do you stop on those things?
Same way you do with ice skates.
For real?
I can't do it tonight.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
They call it a hockey stop. Yeah.
You do a hockey stop on rollerblades?
Yeah.
This episode is blowing my mind.
Sounds like somebody doing my face.
This is crazy.
You want me to share my screen for those for that picture? By the way.
Oh yeah. Do you have that? You have a picture? Yes.
Yeah. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Stand by.
I could just share my screen.
Oh, you can do it. Okay, from where you are. I apologize. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's okay. I have that. I was actually looking to it you said an attachment. I was like, doesn't look like I have that ability, but I can share my screen.
Oh, I don't know. Are you?
We're
doing
still
it?
learning on the fly how to do this technical stuff.
Are you
I don't
doing
see
it?
anything.
Oh, he's doing it now.
Jesus Christ!
We're just asking.
Well, this is like
You're the project manager. Dear Lord.
We're instant gratification creatures.
Hang on. I'm going to throw this on. Yeah.
So you can see here. Here's your here's the on the
Hold
left
on a
hand side.
second.
is
It's
the
not up
podium.
yet. There it
No,
is.
no.
There it is.
Corey's back in hair and makeup. He's fine. Corey can see it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
fine. Yeah.
On the
Look
left,
at the
pimento
spread.
cheese. On the right is the egg
He's
salad.
zooming in.
Oh yeah. These
Those are the
chips
chip-
from the Masters, as you can see,
specific chips?
Masters on the potato chips. They
Masters
actually,
chips.
this was the first year they had popcorn. They didn't have Masters popcorn last year.
Oh.
That was
Hoi
super,
polloi.
super good. And then obviously the chocolate chip cookie. And then Eric just kind of like, decked it out with, ignore Nate Dodge's Miller Lite cooler, not really classing up the joint. But
He's your friend.
yeah, trust me.
How did Timmy? How do
No
you
way.
not know that this exists?
And then this
This
is
seems
the
right up your alley.
This is Scotty's people. I don't have cool friends like this.
No, but I'm saying like the Masters kit. You don't have that. I'm really shocked.
Oh, Cheryl is watching this right now. I guarantee she's already
Ordering
ordered
it for
the
next year.
2025. Yeah, 1,000%. Yep. Timothy, do you want the brisket kit or do you want the? Yeah,
Give
guaranteed.
me the whole thing, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Give me the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Yep. The Masters kit, amazing. All right, we're gonna bring Corey back in. Is that okay?
Yeah, bring him back.
With that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there, we go.
There he
that's-
is.
I don't know if you can.
Oh, what are we doing? What you got more to show us?
Yeah, so just show you the sim. I don't know if you want to see
Corey, are you
Oh,
in
do
a
that. Hang on.
classroom?
it. I'm still
This
sharing.
is I'm at a
Sharing,
dealership
I don't know.
right now.
Oh,
Car dealer.
He was
Oh,
at a
is it-
dealership wrapping up. Yeah,
the break.
So that's still
their
the
break
food.
room?
We're still on the food.
the
What are you
break
saying?
room. He's in an
Did you
office.
switch
That's
it?
what it is. It's a
Yeah.
classroom / break room.
Yeah.
Isn't this the
It's
food?
sharing
Same
it.
picture?
No, it should be the
And
same.
I saw that a
Oh, hang
clock
on.
that
What are we
looks
doing?
like a classroom clock behind you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, we'll bring Corey back.
This is really good for the podcast.
Oh, there it is.
listeners.
Hey, I know. Listen. Okay, there we go.
Anyway, there's the sim, and there's the.
There it is.
That's-
There it is.
That's what you'll see on the driving range.
Bro, you guys
Like,
have too much
every-
money up in Maine. You've got your own golf sim in your garage. It's
Of course
crazy.
he does. Wonderful.
Dang.
It's wonderful. All right, Corey's back.
Timmy, I got a
I mean, I
question
love
for
it.
you.
It's cool, but
Yes, sir. Rubber shoes.
When you were at Top Golf, were you able to hit your driver?
Well, you're asking the wrong person, and I know you know that, so I hate you for this. But here we go. Here we go.
Were
No,
you
I-
able
no,
to
I-
hit it like you hit it on the golf course?
Well, you're asking a few different questions. Could somebody who drives the ball really well, a la you, a la Scotty, I know Corey golfs, but I don't know Corey hits it as far as you two. There are some. I think you're leading me, Your Honor, to the answer that some Top Golfs don't let people hit driver. Is that what you're asking?
No, the tee was too short for me to be able to hit my driver consistently.
Did you go to Canton?
Yeah.
Usually, all right, interesting.
it's very
usually,
granular discussion.
yeah, usually you can swap them out. Yeah, we're getting lost in the weeds here. But
I
usually,
didn't see-
usually you
I
can
didn't-
swap them out.
I was
Well,
looking
I
for that
appreciate
because
the
I was
feedback
so
on the
pissed.
Masters, Scotty.
Scotty's excellent with the Hendrix.
I was
All right.
stuck using my 3 hybrid the whole time.
Oh, poor you. Poor you.
I've used a driver at Top Golf before. I've also used the hybrid one too.
Yeah, the tees they had they were very short.
He wasn't happy.
Yeah,
Clearly.
like the ball wasn't even going up to halfway to my club face.
You couldn't hit your driver off the deck. You're not that kind of a hero.
Yeah.
No?
No.
It's really hard to do.
It is hard. I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's
but
easy.
Scotty,
It's-
he has hockey rollerblades. I think he could do a couple of
Can
things
you see?
athletically.
Can you see roller shoes going up and down
Roller
the
shoes.
yeah? Taking kids out.
Oh my
Get out of there! I'm gonna
God.
steal
All right.
your tea. Oh my god.
That
So
reminds me that Happy Gilmore 2 is in the works. So because
So
I
it-
could see rubber shoes in Happy Gilmore.
Oh my god. See him a lot of things. So monumental year for people stepping down. Vern Lundquist, 40 years, last Masters. We got Jack Edwards stepping away from the Bruins. He's got one round of the playoffs, obviously. We'll talk about that. And also, you've got, why am I blanking on this? Oh, Mike Gorman.
Mike Gorman.
Stepped away from the Celtics.
Gorman, yeah.
Which,
Who also has one round of the playoffs.
yeah, he gets one round of the playoffs too. I'll say it was fun to watch Peyton Pritchard sort of control the team on Sunday. That was the game that Francis and I went to, and it
How
was
were your
awesome.
seats? Did you have good seats?
Yeah, I've got a picture. I could throw that up and we can put it next to the garage photos, but I won't do that. I'm fucking with you, Scotty.
No, I love it. I think the garage photos are freaking amazing.
up, baby.
They were amazing. Yeah. I don't know if I want to put my my Lowe's sheets next to his chips. I mean, talk about entitled. We were Loge 4, row 17. So we were
It's not bad.
on the corner of the floor behind the enemy bench. Well, that was our mindset. We were going to get, because he loves getting this stuff for Christmas, and we're like, we're going to try to get the best seats we can. So we end of the year, the Wizards, all those reasons, and it was awesome. They took every TV timeout to honor him. There was more stuff. I mean, the halftime, cool. Well done at halftime. I thought they did a great job. I don't know if they broadcast that. I trust they did.
Yes, they did.
They did such a good job with that. It was awesome. It's gonna be weird. I'm interested. Do we know which direction they're going to replace Gorman? Is there a name out there that I missed, or is that
he's already doing the games?
Yeah, he's doing but he's on ESPN too. I actually just saw him on SportsCenter the other night. Drew is his name. I can't remember his last name, but
okay.
He does the away games with Scal already.
That's right.
Oh, so he's taken over. Okay.
Yeah, probably. I would think so.
And then they've got the replacement for Jack, because he sat in for Jack while Jack was away, like doing some medical stuff in December and stuff like that. So the Bruins,
and he did the first game of the season also.
Yeah, and I actually like him. I think he does a good job. Yeah. I mean, that last night, I think the emotion.
Hey now.
What do you mean? What?
Look at Corey's screen. He's got visitors.
Oh, I love it. It's perfect. I think.
I also like that you said, "Hey now."
Yeah,
fucking mechanic walks through. You're like, "Hey now."
That was fresh out of the Stern show. Yeah, like, what are we doing? I think the emotion got to Jack last night, and that put him way out over his skis, and he was struggling more than ever last night. Last night was rough. It was great.
Oh yeah,
and he still has one more run to the playoffs, but it was he was rough last night. It was pretty tough.
I'm thinking this wasn't his decision.
Oh no, I think I was talking to somebody today at the office, and they're like, "Oh no, this," like they were talking about this at the beginning of the year. I'm like, "No, they weren't. This came out of left field yesterday at about 3 o'clock."
When he came out with that report,
a
couple months ago, saying he's had tests, he's been going to the therapist, voice therapist, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to stay here as long as I keep putting out a decent product." And all of a sudden he's retiring at the end of the season. I definitely don't think he wanted to step away.
Well, the weird thing is, with all the information we have and being in the heart of the medical universe, they really don't know what it is, which is crazy. Crazy. And he's like, my mom was talking about it. Cheryl was saying, like, during commercial breaks, he's doing like linguistic exercises. Oh, like he's constantly working on it, and it's just getting away from him. And like if you had to guess, but of course they would know this already. Like, it almost seems like it's brain cancer. Like, just the faculty is just not functioning. Which is horrible to say out loud. I'm not trying to put that into the universe, but what is it? How do they not know? How do they not know? There's 38 hospitals within a mile of the garden. They're like, we're not sure what it is. What?
Maybe they're not saying though. Maybe he wants to be private about it.
Billy's losing his shit.
Oh my! What is happening?
We've lost it because the mechanic
this is the most effusive I've seen him.
But where's my red flag? I want this reviewed. You have left to make burgers and tots. You've got your macaroni muscle shirt on right now. You've had Funko Pops behind you. Like, your set is like a mental hospital.
The way he walked
he's
back,
got a coworker behind him.
He walked back and he was like sneaking a peek to see what Corey was looking at.
I'd love to know. Yeah.
I love it.
I love that Rubber Shoes. Yeah,
Rubber Shoes is making judgments on other people's screens.
I loved it.
What is happening?
By the way, the guys.
You had a lot of comments too.
What's that?
For the last last name of the guy that's going to do the TV stuff in place of Gorman is going to be Carter, Drew Carter.
Drew Carter. Okay.
Yeah.
Carter, that's right. That's right. Good call.
When they started out the season, it was like, I don't know. But as the longer him and Scal have done it, they're definitely getting a chemistry going there. I like their broadcast now.
Well, it took a while for me to when it came to when Bob Sochi replaced Gil Santos, right, for the Patriots.
Oh yeah.
It took me a while for that, but now I love Sochi.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The guy's phenomenal and does such a great job.
Well,
So,
the best part of Sochi's Zolak.
I'm just wondering if it's
Zolak's such a maniac. He just makes it amazing because he's always screaming. Like that great call when they played the Saints, and I forget who Brady threw it to, and his whole thing was like, "That's your quarterback. Show ponies." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Where's the beef?" He was just yelling like it was
unicorns.
like stream of consciousness. Yeah, like Zolak's amazing. Like he's like our football Tommy Heinsohn. Yeah. Yep. Heinsohn had that great thing where he was yelling at the ref, and he's like, "Go home to your wife. Nobody here loves you." I mean, Heinsohn was just gold. And the story that Gorman told at halftime, which was amazing. And I've heard him tell the story before because he told it when Tommy passed away. He's telling the story. It was his first night that he was going to work with Heinsohn, and Heinsohn comes up to the booth in the old garden, and Gorman's the student, and he's got everything laid out. He's the play-by-play, and he's got all of his notes. And Heinsohn comes up and he's ripping it. He said he was ripping a dot, and he goes, "What is all this?" He goes, "My notes," and he crumpled them up and threw them off the balcony, off the Panasonic balcony, right from the gallery gods. And he goes, "We're not doing that." He goes, "We're just going to tell them what we see out there." And that's like that. Yeah. That's why they were so good. Yeah, it was just nonsense for years, Heinsohn screaming and
the story that I liked that he told was about, or actually I think it was Pierce that told it, about how Pierce was Gorman was calling one of Pierce's college games and never even knew it, and then he went back and watched the game and was like, "Oh, that voice sounds really familiar," and then it turned out to be Mike Gorman calling one of his college games. Good stuff.
So we got playoffs lined up. The Celtics are Sunday, and we don't know who it is yet. And the Bruins start Saturday against the Leafs, I believe.
Yep.
And can we go back to the tape where Leon made the statement years ago that whoever came up with the play-in series should be fired? Yet it's the only reason he's in the mix. I love that somebody digs that up because I saw it last night. I mean, he's such a jackalope. Like, what a jackass. So who are they playing now that he's...
And if Zion didn't get hurt...
They get Denver.
They get Denver. Okay.
Yeah.
They get Denver,
if Zion didn't get hurt, I think the Pelicans would have won that game last night.
Oh, 100%. They were on their way to win that game.
Yeah.
I mean, Zion dropped a 40 burger last night. He was pretty nasty, but it was and I'm probably the only one here, but it was kind of nice to watch the end of the dynasty and Clay and all them.
Oh, hell yeah. I was psyched to see them go.
I'm fucking.
Oh, yeah. I was in.
Absolutely.
How much of that falls apart, Scotty? Like, who's.
Draymond's a free agent. Clay's a free agent.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole bunch of. Yeah, there's going to be a ton of pieces to drop. Clay, honestly, should retire. I mean, he had a great second half of the season, but his first half of the season looked like his game last night. Like, he just doesn't look. He's not Clay anymore. He's just not. And he needs to. Go ahead. That team's going to be completely different. Now, they got lucky when they had a bunch of injuries and they were able to get Kuminga and a few other young pieces. So they have some decent pieces around that they're going to have to be able to build upon. But it's going to take some time. It's definitely going to take some time. It's going to be a whole different team next year.
Interesting. All right.
I couldn't believe.
No, I think he's going to get signed by Orlando. Orlando will give him all the money.
Who, Clay?
Yeah.
Who's that, Clay?
For real?
Yeah,
wow.
Clay will
sign with Orlando by somebody. People are dumb. Yeah.
As long as he doesn't show up in a Celtics uniform, I'm happy. Go anywhere you want, but the Celtics.
Did anybody see the interview with Brad Stevens about Derek White?
No, I didn't see that one.
He kind of deflected, though, didn't he?
He totally did, but totally didn't at the same time. It was beautiful. Somebody asked Stevens about bringing back Derek White and re-signing him. And basically Stevens was like, well, we can't really talk about certain players or anything until July, but we love Derek White and we want to have him here for a really long time because of what he provides to the team. And so it was like, he definitely dropped a matzo ball of a hint right there that I think they're going to try and bring him back and figure out a way to make it done. So,
Are they
Scotty,
bringing his hair
you-
back?
Probably not. I'm just now getting used to his
can't
bald
afford
head.
that.
Right? Can't bring his hair back.
I don't like
Did
that.
you go to
I
the
like-
main Celtics finals? Did you go to that, Scotty?
no, I couldn't. I missed
Oh,
it.
it was, the
Corey
gym
still
was
has season
packed. I was
tickets.
like, what the hell? Couldn't believe
Cor-
it.
You still have your season tickets, don't you, dude?
I
No?
did. I do. Yeah. Nobody from my team could go, but
Oh.
I watched it on TV, and
Yeah, it
of
was a
course I had a
bummer
lot
that they got
of
smoked.
coworkers in Oklahoma.
Corey
So,
being the philanthropist sent
I
them to
mean-
the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. They're like, we don't want to go to that. It's the dumbest logo in America.
It's a tinderbox.
I don't.
I was disappointed to watch them lose, though. That was
Oh
awful.
my god!
Did you think that they lost? Not that we need to spend a ton of time on the main Celtics, but did
I'd
you
love
think they
to.
lost because the Boston Celtics called all those guys up and they were just exhausted? They played 2 straight
Mhm.
games, basically full games in the middle of the finals of the G League.
Yeah, I think
I
that
would
was
say
a
it
major
definitely
part of
didn't
it.
help. Yeah.
They were
'Cause
exhausted.
they were-
but
They weren't
An
looking like
OKC
a team that
team-
would get blown out by 30.
Oh boy!
yeah, they made it close
Uh-oh.
at the end though. They only lost by 17. They were down
That's
by
true.
a lot. It was like 30 or 40 at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
So when do we find out who the Celtics have? When does that happen? When does that get shuffled out? Is that tonight?
Not
After Friday. No,
so
Friday
we'll
night,
find
I
out.
think.
So Philadelphia plays Miami tonight, and then Atlanta plays Chicago.
Okay.
So whoever wins Philly and Miami, they'll get the 7th seed, and then whoever wins the Chicago Atlanta, then they have to play the winner of the Phillies Miami game, and
Okay.
then whoever wins that game gets the
7, 8. Okay. Okay.
I'll draw you a diagram later. I can give you like a topology.
Yeah,
I,
so that
I would love if you could
Right.
if you could create an org chart with chips. I would love that. Yes. So are we gonna go?
They'll be playing Friday night.
So you guys are gonna do? You can't do picks yet, then for me, really, because you don't know who it's gonna be.
No, we can't do picks.
No
I'm just saying,
series picks.
It's
Okay.
like
I'm
the
gonna call
number
you
one
Barcelona.
seed
I'm gonna
playing
zag and
the,
say I
the
would-
winner of the play-in game.
Okay. No matter who it is, do you guys think the Celtics are okay in round 1? Obvious, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
As long as it's not Atlanta, yes.
Why
I
does
hate-
Atlanta
I-
scare you so much?
some
Oh my
reason-
God.
The Heat scare the hell out of me.
I
We
don't know.
lost
ahead,
back-to-back
Scott.
games.
I just
I'd
don't
rather-
want them to play. I don't want them to play the Sixers. Not that I don't think the Celtics can beat the Sixers, but I think that with a healthy Embiid will make them play longer than I really want them to in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
I would see them, by the way, probably playing on Sunday. The Celtics, by the way. I think that's where it end up.
Yeah, I think it's already. I think it's already
Oh, it's
Yeah, they
on
already
Sunday.
scheduled
They're
it, I
just
think.
waiting for the
Yeah,
opponent.
Sunday,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
because
There's a
the
blank.
final play-in game is Friday night.
Friday.
So stupid.
I just
I'm hoping
pray.
we play
and
Chicago because I'm going to fly to Chicago and watch a game, go to the game in
course it
Chicago.
is.
There
Chris,
you
that's
go.
what I'm-
I'll root for Chicago just for Corey.
I do not. No, I do not want Chicago. I do not want us to
Why?
play Chicago. I'm gonna
Chicago,
I'm gonna
out
tell
of
you
all
why.
the teams,
Because
out of
Chicago
all,
is sneaky good. Their record sucks, but they are sneaky good. If you
Not
watch those
against
games,
Boston.
they are in every single game. At the end of the game, they're in almost every single game. They are sneaky good. I don't want Chicago.
Adam.
I know that's a
This is-
zag, but I don't
I
want
love
them.
you so much, but you could not be more wrong. Out of all
Oh,
the 4
they
teams
still have
on
Drummond.
this thing, all 4 teams, Chicago is by far the best matchup for the Boston Celtics. By far.
Maybe on paper, Scotty, but I'm just telling you.
On
the-
paper
the-
and in real life. Look
No,
at the
listen.
numbers.
I'm telling you, the way the East is lined up right now, there is so much positive for us. Like all these injuries to Embiid and to Giannis, and the Cavs are terrible, and Orlando's barely hanging on. I'm telling you, this is a classic. This Celtics team could potentially lose to the Chicago Bulls. I hate to be the guy that says that, but we could potentially lose
Look,
to them.
Michael Jordan's not walking through that door.
Oh my
Scottie
God.
Pippen is not walking through that door. And Tony
Dennis Rodman.
Kukoc is not walking through that door.
Tony Kukoc.
Well, if Tony Kukoc came through the door, then I'd be scared.
Fucking right. Love Tony Kukoc. Left-handed Magic Johnson. Anyway,
I'm good without playoff Jimmy. I'd rather not have playoff Jimmy.
Playoff Jimmy.
I would
real thing.
agree with the fact like the 4 teams that are there can be scary, but I think out of the 4 teams, the Celtics have struggled the most with Atlanta. Obviously, you don't want Philly because of just Embiid, and honestly, it's not that they can't beat Philly. It would just be a longer series than it needed to be. And then that was for Billy. That was 1,000% for Billy. And
can you introduce the guy that's walking behind you there, Corey? Can you
bring him in. Just bring him in. Bring him in. Now we need him. Now we need him.
Ask him if he doesn't mind being on YouTube's.
He doesn't want to be on. He doesn't like it.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yep.
We don't want to embarrass.
Is his name Tiny?
Yep. His parole officer thinks he's home already. Yeah, he can't be on camera. I understand. We appreciate it.
Big guy, short name.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scotty. I'm sorry. You were
How many
trying to
clicks
disprove
does that
my
make
point.
for you?
Go ahead, Scott.
This show is just off the rails. Anyway, against Chicago, the Celtics have scored at least 124 points every single time and have blown them out all 3 games. Is my point. And against Atlanta, they've obviously struggled against Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
They've played at full tilt against them and have lost. Miami is Miami. They're always a pain in the ass. And then Philadelphia, like I said, I don't think it's not that they couldn't beat any of these teams. If you want a short series, in my eyes, Chicago's the team. You want to sweep, Chicago's the team, or a 5-game series. Now we have a cat.
We lost an employee
The
to feline.
show is full of everything, right?
It's so
More
good.
people,
It's
some
so
feline.
good. Yeah, I feel like I don't have enough errant employees marching around my business right now. Yeah, I got.
Cats and mechanics everywhere.
Honest to God. So we can't do picks for the
he's not
Celtics, but can we just say, what if it is Chicago and Boston? Are you willing to make a wager on Game 1, Adam, to keep things interesting?
Well, Game 1 will be at the Garden, so I'm not saying that they're
right.
going to.
And the tent is folding. Okay.
No, listen.
Game 3.
I would, if you gave me the first 4 games,
Oh, boy.
I would say, and it's the Bulls and the Celtics, I would say we would split 2-2.
I want the.
I'll
I
put,
want
I'll put
Chicago
money on
so
that.
bad right
if
now.
If anybody wants that, I'll put money on.
Of course, I have an
Well,
addiction.
only if it's Celtics Bulls. That's the only one I would bet on.
This thing working.
Is this thing working? All right. So Adam's going to put up a $30 bill.
Yep, $30.
It'd be a
10,
4-game
10, and 10. If everybody
4-game
wants it.
split. You and Scotty have it. No, just you and Scotty.
Oh,
I'm
just me and
watching-
Scotty.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
I'm
If Chicago-
Switzerland
Again,
over
only
here.
if it's the Bulls, Scotty. Everybody
And
else. I think we
Corey's
can
in an
handle.
office party, so he can't really do
right
anything.
Before,
Yeah.
so I'll give it to you at the end of the show. So just in preparation, if they
For
do
what?
make it.
Love it.
In preparation. That's not.
You'll
I
give
don't
me
think
what?
I said that right. My Venmo.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, send it to me if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Can we just-
have Corey's, unfortunately. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
That was
Can we just say
disgraceful.
how lucky was I to win the whole thing? For
The most
Very
annoying
lucky.
thing,
Very
and I know Rubbish Shoes wanted to annihilate me when we're all talking, and I'm just like blah blah. So everybody's got a Venmo Corey. Corey's like, oh, there's money on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Money.
Rubbish
had no
Shoes
idea.
strapped on his hockey rollerblades and did a couple of angry laps around Lowell. He was so mad.
Here's the thing, and I've never seen Stoney nervous in my life because he's Stoney. He's always chill.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
was going into that Purdue game like, oh man, I really want them to win. Because if he won, if Purdue won, he won.
Stoney
'Cause
would have
he
won
had
out,
Purdue
right?
usually
Yeah.
only won.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, but he was sweating a little bit. Well, I saw him on Saturday, the Saturday of the Final Four. So
Yep.
he was watching, like we were keeping track of the semifinal before the national championship, and then he texted after. He's like, God damn it.
So good. So good. All right. So we got that. We don't really have anything else to predict for the Celtics because we're not there yet. Let's talk about the Bruins because we know it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. We got picks for that series. What do you guys have for picks for the Bruins series with the Leafs? I'll start with
Bruins
Adam.
in
'cause
6.
Bruins in 6 from Rubber Shoes. What do we got, Corey?
The Leafs are sneaky good though. I'm gonna
Like
say
the
this
Bulls.
can take 7.
The Leafs are like the Bulls.
Yeah.
They're great on paper.
Gary.
They're great in the clubhouse. Like Kevin Millar.
I'm gonna say it's gonna go 7, but it's gonna be Bruins in 7.
All right, I'll up the ante. I'm going to go 7.1. It's going to be an overtime win for the Bruins.
Oh.
Because we couldn't get out of our own way last year. So we have to advance, but it's going to be a horror show because that's one of the great things about being a Boston sports fan. It's never easy.
The big
Never
conspiracy on talk radio is that the Bruins lost the last 2 games on purpose so they could get the Toronto Blue.
They caved, so they
That's
won the
never
Leafs.
good. That's never good.
I don't like any of it. Actually, I'm gonna amend that. I'm gonna go 7.2. There'll be 2 overtimes.
Oh.
There'll be 2 overtimes in the series. There's gonna be 2 overtimes in the series, so it's gonna be 7.2 games. They win it. Go ahead, Scotty.
It does. Oh, go ahead, Scotty.
Oh, Bruins in 5.
Bruins. I love the confidence.
Okay. All right.
Adam.
That's what I was going to say, Bruins in 5, but then Rubber Shoes told me there was some conspiracy theory. I don't really know, so I'm really
Adam's like
pulling
Bulls
a
in
number out of
3.
a hat.
Go ahead.
Bulls in 3, yeah. So I'm going to just say a sweep. Bruins sweep.
Ooh, wow.
Hot take.
I think they are so bent out of shape about how last year ended that they sweep the series. Let's go.
So
Love that.
the one note from the last game that Toronto played Boston this year, one of their players said, because they've had such a hard time with Boston in the playoffs in the last 20 years, that he's like, I'll play Boston in the playoffs. I'm not afraid of them. So I'm sure we'll be hearing that snippet over and over for the next week.
Bulletin board.
Yeah, bulletin board material. We're going to obviously have the whole summer for the Red Sox to ruin Rubber Shoes summer. We're not really going to skate to that park right now. Well, we can discuss that later. I do. We can do draft stuff next week because the draft is next Thursday night, right?
Right.
Have you guys a couple of things, and this is going to parlay into the next conversation. Super cool. I just heard this from somebody in the office that they have confirmed that the Pat McAfee show, which has always done a draft show, on Thursday night of next week, for the entirety of the first round, will have Bill Belichick as a guest host.
Yes, I did hear
That
that. Yep.
that is must-see TV. I'm super
Absolutely.
excited for that.
Watch when it sticks to midnight. That's amazing.
Yeah, I figured you'd be lubed up for that one. Luber.
He's gonna talk. He's gonna talk about how he would have traded out of the first round.
1,000%. Yeah, for a can of corn and a kid that bagged groceries at
Well,
Roche
no,
Brothers. I know. Yes.
I heard him interviewed today. The way they're doing it is they're acting as if they're the 33rd team. So they're going to have like their own draft board, and they're going to actually talk about each player and what moves they would make and stuff. It's going to be amazing. I never watched the NFL draft. I will be watching.
Oh, I love that. So I can tell you, I love that. I hope this is bleeding into something bigger because obviously McAfee's connection with the ESPN is financially deep in all the other ways. I need them to figure out a way to make sure that they sign Coach. Because they already have what's-his-face. They already have Saban signed to be on College Game Day on Saturdays. They need to get Coach signed to something. And I probably said this maybe on the show. I know I've said it to a couple of you privately. Monday nights needs to be ESPN, you can watch the game. ESPN2, you can watch the Manning brothers. And ESPN or C-SPAN 13, you can watch Saban and Belichick. Like there should be a Coach cast. And I'm saying this, and I'm talking to the marketing department. If they're still in the office, they're probably not. They're out doing cocaine. It's fine. ESPN, Disney, loud and clear. Disney, you own the Muppets. There should be a Stadler and Waldorf cast. Like they have to figure that out. 2 grumpy old men watching the game. They'll have more eyes than the Mannings because the Mannings are good, and they have good guests. But Saban and Belichick could be like, coming up in the third quarter, we got Jesus because he'll find time in his busy schedule. Like they'll have an amazing broadcast. I hope they figure that out. What I do want to get to is the article that dropped today that was picked up, and I've shoved it out to you guys via Nesson and the comment in the chat. I think Corey asked me, "Do you think that actually happened?" And we'll get to what we think happened. And yes, I think Kraft is turning into John Henry. Like print that shirt. I think the fact that they stepped away from Arthur Blank and the Atlanta Falcons after him being on the boat and being a millisecond away from signing to be their head coach, and suddenly it went sideways. The article references that Kraft called him, a curmudgeon and egotistical and all this other stuff. And I just wonder if you guys had a chance to read the article, what you've heard. Are you horrified? I certainly am. Like I was Team Bill. I've been Team Bill through the whole thing. I love Bob Kraft. I hate that this is probably a thing, but there's some names attached to that article that don't make stuff up. Seth Wickersham doesn't make stuff up. He's been at the heart of the truth when he writes articles. He's not somebody who's just like, I'm going to throw this together. Scotty disagrees already, right? All right, Bulls in 2. Go ahead.
I'd lose $30 if they.
Why is that so preposterous? Come on.
It's yours. That's why.
I don't know. Like, I'm not going to get into the Wickersham thing because that we could be here for a while.
Oh.
Honestly, here's my take on the whole thing. Is
Nothing but time, Scotty.
I honestly think, they probably Arthur Blank and Kraft. We all know they're very close, right? They're friends. And what
after 28-3, you have to be actually. Yeah, a lot of therapy. After 28-3, you have to be friends. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. What friend hasn't have a friend in a workplace you haven't talked to and bitched about another colleague, and you know what I mean, at the workplace, and complained about how struggled it was struggled to kind of work with him. He was kind of a pain in the ass, blah blah blah, and stuff, and complained about the fact that this person is ... Now, did he do that right after the interview process? That is still in my mind debatable.
Well, you're making my point.
Did he never talk a little bit of shit about Belichick to Arthur Blank? I'm sure he did. I'm sure he complained about the fact that the guy was being a pain in the ass and that he's hard to work with and that he's stubborn. But you know what else? He's also a genius. He's also won 6 Super Bowls. He's also one of the smartest men in football. And it's just one of those things where, on top of actually all of that, the last point I'll make also as well is they're still paying him. He's still on the Patriots payroll. So is it really worth Kraft to disparage Belichick and still have to pay him, like, I don't know what the contract is, like $20 million or whatever he's going to be paying him? Yep. All that money, and you're going to disparage him and then not get him off your payroll? I don't know. It's kind of like a point. It's a weird situation there, and I don't know. It is what it is. I'm hoping it's unfortunate. I'm hoping this doesn't actually turn into like a legit off-season conversation for the next 8 weeks or whatever it is.
Sure.
I'd like to just be like, hey, this is what it is.
It's great going into the draft. They know what they're doing.
And we want to move on, because that's the thing too. And I feel bad mostly, and this will be my final point, for Mayo and the coaching staff, that they're trying to get ready for the draft, and if they have to deal with questions and stuff that just has nothing to do with them at all, but this is absolutely, or could absolutely be, a distraction as they're trying to prepare for what is an enormous decision for the future of the franchise. So it's one of those things where, and I rolled my eyes when you say Seth Wickersham, because to me, he is Captain Patriots hit piece guy. So that's, it always drives me nuts, because he sends these articles out at the exact moment when there's usually like a big moment within the Patriots franchise. But those are my thoughts.
I got you. Well, 2 things. I love that you brought up the continued payroll, and I was going to say he should rename, but he's got enough money. Go buy a new boat for Nantucket and name it Severance. That's your first move, Bill. If you're listening, write this down. Just here to help. Coming from my heart. And then the other thing that's incredible, and I love that you said this. Yeah, if he and Arthur Blank are talking from their respective boats over scotches, over the phone, or whatever. And there's a continued, he's a pain in the ass, but he's our pain in the ass. Like when, you got Brad Marchand skating around licking face. I didn't care, because he's winning games and he's awesome, right? All that aside, that's the timing is important. Is it, he's down on his boat, he's about to hire him, let me call him be a bag of assholes? Or because if it was collective bad intel, like, wow, why would you bring him on the boat in the first place? And apparently have a second interview. Right? Yeah, so I think the timing is just gross. There's no other way to put it. I think it's just gross. I hope that's not the case, but other people's thoughts.
I did not read the article because I'm out on this type of stuff. I can't. The NFL is so notorious for this garbage, and people that cover the NFL, it's like he said. It's like, all right, talk to me when there's actual reporting happening. What happened?
Scotty got pulled in. Corey got pulled into an oil change. Hang on. He's back, and we're back.
Oil change.
Yeah, I thought you got pulled into an oil change. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
No, Tiny the mechanic went over and shut his computer off real quick.
He's like, he had to walk into the frame again.
Corey's got a blown head gasket. He's going into surgery. He's washing up.
Internet's pretty dicey here in Texas, I guess.
That's all right. That's all right.
Everything.
I'm not that
everything's
far
Texas.
from Baylor University, by the way. I'm in West Texas.
Love that.
Oh, nice.
I love that.
Yeah,
Beautiful downtown Baylor.
University is huge. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it's huge.
It's massive. Yeah, I've been over that way. Yes, it's massive. Yes.
That's
Yeah,
a good.
even
That's a
past
good.
the-
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I even passed the Keller Williams building too, that big ginormous one on the
A
way.
Keller Williams office in Texas.
Yeah.
Crazy. If you're playing at home, that's where it all started. Austin, yes. So that's
Obviously.
So a trillion offices in Texas. Gary's smiling. Free plug. Still not a sponsor, even though I'm sitting in the building
why are we
now.
getting them as a sponsor,
Come on,
honestly?
Gary. Come on, Nate. Dear
Come on,
Lord.
buddy.
Dear Lord. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I horrified to see that that's going on because I don't want to think that he's becoming the owner that he's quickly moving from the most lauded owner to like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I guess ahead of the draft.
That's like what happens when you lose, right? I mean, this is like this is the other thing that it sucks is like you go from winning 6 championships in 20 years, like, and going to 9 Super Bowls, like, yeah, people are gonna start questioning your every move if you don't go back after the next 2 or 3 years. It's like, let's just give the guy some grace. I mean, they won so many Super Bowls. Like, what are we doing? We're so not. I'm not saying you guys, but I'm just saying in general, the discourse is so hell bent on tearing people down. It's like these people are champions. Like, they've done amazing things. Okay, so they're not so great right now. Big deal. They've had a series of excellence. You know, a prolonged amount of excellence. Let's let them have a couple of years where they're not great.
We've done that.
That's just how I feel.
Did I miss something?
Great.
We've been doing that.
Like
I
Janet
don't-
Jackson said, "What have you done for me lately?"
Oh my God!
Oh.
Do you have your rollerblades on right now? What is happening?
You only say like 10 words in these podcasts,
So
and
Scotty just
those
left.
were the
It's like
10
a
words you
Mentos
chose?
commercial. It's like a Mentos commercial over there. What is happening? Go ahead, Corey.
So I didn't read the article you sent, but
Glad I forwarded it. Yeah.
Speaking of John Henry,
Nobody's
I
doing the
was
homework.
at the Red Sox Friday night, and Linda, his wife, and Sam Kennedy were about I don't know.
Linda, his daughter, a wife. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they were within an earshot of where I was sitting,
Child
and
bride.
Oh.
they were getting slammed by all the people around me, and they didn't even make it
Uber?
an inning before they left.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I love that for him.
the fans are turning already. The ones that show up.
Yes.
What did
Yeah.
you yell out, Rubber Shoes?
I kept my mouth shut.
You
I
ruined
told
my
my
summer.
wife, I said, "Good thing I'm not drinking because this could be a Dan Duquette moment right now."
Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't tell us that you were lubed up when you ran into Dan Duquette.
Oh, I was hammered.
I thought you were so stone cold sober, and you were just
no.
I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Oh my God, that's hysterical.
He was camera ready. Oh my God.
Lubed
Holy
up.
Moses. Corey, you were going to say.
I read the article.
Oh.
All right, round
And I
of
didn't-
applause for Corey. Yeah.
I had it read to me. Let's just put it that way. Let's be real.
Well, he's in Texas. They're like, he's reading. What's going on over there?
Oh no.
Oh, watch out. Tiny might hear you.
He's working on the head gasket. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I agree with Scotty. I'm not saying that the article is 100% false. There's probably some truth to it, but why would he say all that stuff knowing that he's still on the hook for paying him? Take him off my hands,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because I don't have to pay him. Because if I'm looking at it from a business perspective, right, I'm paying Mayo and I'm paying Bill. I'm paying Bill not to be here, right?
It's like a divorce.
And
Yeah.
and there are owners like in the NFL that have done that. I mean, Snyder lost millions of dollars on coaches that he gave contracts to that he wasn't patient enough and fired them and still had to pay them. I think at one point he was paying like 3 coaches in a single season, but Kraft's never done that. So to me, it just doesn't make sense. And like I said, I'm not saying that the report is completely false. I'm sure he bitched to Arthur Blank about it.
Yeah,
and here's the
sure.
thing, and I guess the other part too is Arthur Blank. I know you're not watching because but if you are, you're
Pretty
a
sure.
fucking moron Look, you had an opportunity to hire one of the greatest coaches of all time
Amen.
on a franchise that has done nothing. You have one conference championship to speak of, maybe two conference championships to speak of, and that's it. And you got embarrassed in one Super Bowl, and then you had the worst Super Bowl loss or choke in history. So to me, you have that opportunity, and then you go and you do the safe hire and get Raheem Morris, which, by the way, not that I have anything against Raheem Morris, but that's just, it doesn't make sense. Yes, is he a pain in the ass?
He won't be the worst coach in the league. Yeah.
Is he not going to make you feel like family or whatever they said in the article? Like, that was like one of the quotes. He's not going to make you feel like family. You're not going to get the warm and fuzzies when you talk to him. No, you're not. But you also going to get, a ton of football intelligence walking in the door. You are going to get respect, no matter what anyone says, from players, because it's Bill Belichick. It just blows my mind that he made the decision just to do the safe hire and go with Morris instead of going with Belichick.
And Arthur Blank doesn't want warm and fuzzies. He wants cold and shinies. That's what everybody, like every NFL team's just like Super Bowl. Like that's what we're working for.
I think Bill should be coaching, and I'm surprised he's not coaching.
He's going to be on ESPN. Can't wait.
It'll be good for us.
I don't see him being warm and fuzzy on ESPN either.
No, you're making my point.
Oh no, he was great on the McAfee show today. He was excellent.
I know. When you texted that through, and I'm clicking in here in my office, and I don't know where McAfee was. He's usually on ESPN too, isn't he?
Yeah, but it depends on the time of the day, of course.
Yeah. I was clicking around, couldn't find it, which was annoying, but excellent.
I don't know. Have you watched the Dynasty yet?
I have not done that. No, I'm not doing my homework either. You guys aren't reading articles. I'm not watching the Dynasty. It's great. Yeah. One big happy fan.
I've watched the Dynasty like 4 times. Don't come at me.
Bulls in one.
Fucking Bulls in
one. Let's go. Listen, I'm not rooting for the Bulls to win. I'm just saying it could be a difficult road for the Celtics if they get the Bulls.
Yeah, he's just like 1989 rubber shoes marching around with a Lakers shirt on now. Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it.
Room around here somewhere.
I thought I knew you, Adam. I thought I knew you. Oh my goodness.
Knock it off.
All right, so next week we will obviously know who the Celtics opponent is. Hopefully it's Chicago, and hopefully he owes Scotty $30. We'll be into the Bruins series. We made our predictions. We made our predictions on the Bruins. We'll talk a little bit of Red Sox, and of course, draft will be the top of the conversation. We talked about this before. Everybody has their pick on who they think the Patriots are going to do. Did you say Drake May, rubber shoes?
Yep.
Drake May, Scotty? No? What are you doing?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
I would love that. Are we doing what we think is going to happen or what we want to happen?
I'm doing both.
Let's do both.
Both. Okay. I think they're going to go with Drake May, which I hate, and I want them to go with Marvin Harrison Jr. and get Bo Nix in the second round if he's there. I'm so not attached to them chasing the quarterback that Drake May is so. I don't know. It doesn't feel warm and fuzzy to me, and I don't think he's going to help us get a cold and shiny. So
none of those.
I want Drake May, and I think they're going to take JJ McCarthy.
Oh, Scotty just went 6 to midnight again. It's been very active in the pants over there for Scotty. Dear Lord, he's got to go shower. Got to go shower. Yeah, got to go shower. What about you, Corey? What do you got for the draft?
Well, I want Marvin. I think they're going to get.
Just
it's going to be Drake. I'm sure it's going to be Drake because he's tall and handsome. I like the guy from LSU, but he doesn't strike me as being a game changing quarterback. None of them do, right? Not the first 3 quarterbacks don't strike me as being ones that are going to be game changers and get us into the playoffs.
I like the Williams kid. Is a game changing quarterback.
He weighs like 140 pounds, right? I mean, he gets hit, he's going to get bent in half.
Caleb Williams?
No, the kid from LSU, the quarterback.
Jaden McDaniels. Okay,
Jaden Daniels.
Okay,
yeah,
I thought you were. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, he's gonna run and scramble for a touchdown. Someone's gonna hit him, and they're gonna knock him out. He's gonna be done.
Adam, what do you got? Tony Kukoc, say it, do it.
Well, I heard Belichick today on McAfee's talking about how quarterbacks and wide receivers are basically a 50-50 proposition in the first round as to whether they'll be decent or not. So I'm thinking that Mayo probably doesn't share that, because otherwise they probably would have talked about it. So I think I would like to see them take May, and I think they're going to trade back for a linebacker.
Linebacker. Wow, that's the worst decision they could make.
I'm just joking. I'm actually just joking. I don't know. I think they'll take May, and I think they will, and that's who I would like them to take. I think
I
they
see
will
what
actually take
what Adam's role here is. He's just here to poke people.
Yes, yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, listen. When we say
I'm
when we
serious
say roll
about
on
the
this,
Bulls. I'm serious about the Bulls.
when we say roll on the show, we're talking about rubber shoes and his hockey skates. Don't forget their hockey skates.
Good callback. Good callback.
We will be back at it next week. Thank you to Joe and Leslie, our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. You can track us down. What, Scotty? Go ahead. What?
I never gave you my thought. That's just what I want them to do was take Marvin Harrison Jr. But what I think they're going to do, and Adam almost stole my thunder to the fucking linebacker thing.
He did.
I think they're going to trade the pick. I honestly think they're going to trade the
third pick.
They don't take
so
anybody.
annoying. I love it.
That's what I think ends up happening is that I want them to take Marvin Harrison Jr., but I think they trade the pick. They get a couple more first rounders, like 3 or 4 first rounders, and then their first actual pick in this draft is the second round.
It's so annoying. So annoying. I love it. Yeah, I love it. All right, we'll be back at it next week. You can track us down at atbshow.com. Rubber Shoes will be back at it in the morning. We are brought to you by our dear friends Joe and Leslie at AAA Work Trucks. So next week, we're talking Bruins playoffs. We're talking Celtics playoffs. And, of course, we'll dive deeper into the draft. And Scotty, how many Hendricks have you had, sir?
Oh, I'm just doing the AAA thing. He's doing the thing.
Oh my God! He spun the mic flag.
We should all have
I
something
can't.
we hold
I
up.
can't with these people. Yeah, like Corey should have a QR code up for a free oil change or something. What are you doing? We're all way off track. What is happening? All right, boys. Have a good. Nothing's happening. Goodbye.
Yes,
have a great week.
Goodbye.
Oh my God.